Sorry for catching you in bed. Good boy. Didn't quite manage to catch him fully in bed because he was straight up. Good morning, Mr. Nutty. Good boy. Morning, girly. Good morning. It is another eventing morning. Dana is like, it is too early for this, guys. Again, I feel like we are truly and utterly into autumn eventing mode because it's not that early. It's only 5 a.m. and it is pitch black outside. Absolutely dark as anything. Whereas a couple of months ago, it would have been bright daylight. So I'm just making up their breakfast. Got some pink mash on soak. That one's not having any pink mash, obviously. And they're going to have broccolini, and I'm going to quickly muck out their stables. And then I've got platting up to do. And we will be leaving at 6:30 this morning. I think my dressage with Maggie is 11 o'clock-ish. But I've got 2 cross-country courses to walk because you're coming along today, which is nice. He says, yeah, it is good. I didn't like it when you left me last time. Doesn't he look well? So shiny. So shiny. So I best crack on because I've got an hour and 20 minutes before we're loading. I've brought stuff around. So this bag has ice in it, and then we have an ice box in the lorry to keep it frozen. This bag has my competition gear in it, so that stuff needs to go in the lorry. Need to pop a bit of tack in the lorry, else we'll be riding bareback and bridleless. And yeah, that's it. So I don't think I've mentioned yet, Donna is doing the Novice today. Maggie is doing BE100 today. See if we can keep on building her confidence after her last amazing 2 runs. Everything is feeling a whole lot better. That's really squashed together, that's better. Yeah, everything's feeling a whole lot better. She's feeling a lot more confident. I'm trying to give her a bit of time. Obviously, she's schooled up to be able to jump novice and above, but I have no intention of doing a novice before the end of the season with her because I just want her to get her confidence back from the start of this year where everything was going a little bit haywire and not to plan. And it felt a bit like she popped round Little Down and 90, like literally stood on her head. But when I took her to Sapie's 100, obviously she was going and she went clear and everything, but I did feel like she came out the start box a little bit apprehensive, but she finished so much more confident. And when we went to Chillington last week, my aim was to try and build on the confidence. So she went through the finish flags at Chillington even more confident than she went through the finish flags at Sapie, and so on and so forth. That'll be the aim again today. I'd say she came out the start box at Chillington with the confidence that she finished at Sapie with. So that felt brilliant. So I've got this event and then Osberton left on the calendar for her. So that is the plan to finish off the season. So hopefully, plan of action is we keep building on that confidence and she finishes on a real high. Donut's obviously feeling amazing round novices. We're now aiming for mileage for me, mileage for him, and it is a prep run for our 2-star at Osberton, which is, I think Bobby Upton calls novices national 2-stars, like when she does her post. So it gives you a little bit of an idea. 2-star short should ideally be a little bit easier than 2-star long, but it's sort of like just a half step up to do it. I may change my mind and say it's a massive step up to do it when we go there, but yeah, I feel like we are ready for that. So I've not mentioned where we're going. We're off to Allerton Park. Have I told you that? I don't think I've told you that. It's one of our favourite venues. I love it. It's stunning parkland. The courses I always find are built quite big, but really bold and inviting. And sorry, you can't see me right now. I'm mixing feeds. That's all we're doing. It's mixing your breakfast. Okay, so they've got their dinner now. So as I was saying, it is an event that the horses really seem to like. I really like it. It's easy to get to, although we are a bit further away this year now we've moved. But would be more than happy to travel. Good boy. And yeah, aim of today is just get more mileage, more confidence, and keep on building up, and appreciate that we've not got much of the season left, so appreciate the fact that we're out eventing.
One step 달려와줘 like a little 만 사랑하고 가져왔던 떨림마저 바람결에 사라지는 것.
Okay, that is the mucking out done. Just so you guys get an idea of timing, I reckon it takes me about 10 minutes per stable to get mucked out, and then I don't know, add an extra 5 minutes on, 25 minutes total probably, so that I can sort of empty the barrow and sweep and all those bits and bobs. So then I reckon there or thereabouts for about 20 minutes to plat up per horse. I'm just going through my plaiting stuff. I yeah, just quickly plat them down, band them up, and then I sew them in so that they don't fall out, because it gets on my nerves if they start falling out. So needle and thread at the ready for sewing them in. So I'm going to start with Maggie, and then I'll do donut. It is 20 to 6 now. I've put stuff in the lorry. They've obviously had their breakfast. They're all mucked out. And yeah, and then by the time I've done 40 minutes plaiting, we're ready for 10 minutes of getting ready to go. I've also, little life hack guys, I got given a plaiting gel for badminton. I honestly don't know what happened to it. I think it sprouted legs and ran away, because I haven't been able to see it since badminton, and Amber plaited for me at badminton last year, so I never actually used it. But I also saw her using this plaiting mousse, which it comes out literally like that. And I'm very impatient platter because I want to get done quickly. So I have the wax, which is beautiful, but I don't tend to have the patience to run it through their mane. So instead, this coats your hands, coats their mane, and it makes it so sticky. Like my hand's really sticky now. It's going to get stickier. And the plaits looked really good last week at Chillington. So I was just going to say, if you like this, not an ad, I bought it up early. I was a big fan. So yeah, anything to make life easier. And I'm also not really into bathing them that much at the moment before events. I think one, because my old wash box was inside. Good girl. And just a sec. Yeah, my old wash box was inside, so it was a lot lighter, whereas here I've still got a hot shower for the horses, but it's outside on like a trigger light, so it goes dark, which is just a bit frustrating. And to be honest, they're both colours that don't tend to get that dirty, and I just don't think it's that great for their skin to bath them every single time. So they're getting occasional baths, but they get groomed more often. And there's no white to be washing, so I was just a bit like, what's the point in me constantly bathing them before an event? So that has been a bit of a change in plan. Anyway, I'll start plaiting up, and we'll see how long it takes me, shall we? It's just 42 minutes past 5.
It's 2 a.m. and I can't fall asleep, 'cause I'm not tired. I'm thinking about the days we used to shine when we were young. I told you that we should start a band and reach for the sky. It's 2 a.m. and I can't fall asleep. I'm just not tired. I can hear the raindrops falling. It's cold outside and I kinda feel like calling, but it's too late now. I just miss you. I just miss you. We were such a constellation, right? No, you'd agree. Made a reputation for ourselves at age 18. We had the devil on our shoulders telling us what we should do. I wonder if you think about me too. I can hear the raindrops falling. It's cold outside.
There's the lights.
And I kinda feel like calling, but it's too late now.
Come on then, pretty.
I just miss you. I just miss you.
Make your turn. You coming in? Come on then.
Oh, I miss you.
That's a girly.
Oh, I miss you. It's 2 a.m. and I can't fall asleep. I'm just not tired. I can hear the raindrops falling. It's cold outside and I kinda feel like calling, but it's too late now. I just miss you. I just miss
Right, we have made it. My life may have just flashed before my eyes because I went down a dip I wasn't expecting to go down. We are at beautiful Allerton Park. And I'm just biking my way around to the cross-country course so I can walk. Yeah, next to this stunning park. There's so many dogs on it. It's mad. Like I say, we love it here. It's very beautiful, and I'll show you a bit of the route. I mean, look at that for a way to walk through. That is the thing that the old Grand Duke of York song is about, I think. You know, when they march them up to the top of the hill, they march them back down again, and then back halfway up or whatever. That is literally it. Anyway, all the trade stands over there. And then cross-country warm-up is there. And start is over here. So let's go have a look at the course. We are on yellow for donut, pink for Maggie. Oh, advanced for the intermediate. Good morning. Nice steps. Right, turning left. Ooh, bit bumpy fence too. Morning. Now we are heading in to this beautiful parkland. It's a slightly different route to wherever I've been before. I think they're just cutting off the initial corner and adding it on the way home. From looking at the map, there's so many ducks on the water. So this gets you really into the stride and galloping. Oh, I think I'm going to fall off my bike. Right, 2 hands row required back there on that slope. I've not got endless balance. Right, number 3 on a little bit of a rise. How's this box look so much smaller than it once did? Still big enough. I remember the first year I came here thinking that box was ginormous. Trying not to get run over by the car right now. Look at that. How pretty is that? Beautiful. Right. So we've got a curving line here for Maggie, AB, and a curving line there for Donut. I best walk the strides, didn't I? Okay, so far so good. I can remember where I'm going. Sort of just doing the bigger version for Donut. That box is big. Do we want to look at how big it is? Probably not. It is rather large. Humongous. We shan't look at how big it is. Right, this is a ditch brush fence. It's not huge at all, is it? Just fly over that. Meow. Zooming around this course, thanks to Mum's bike. Right, I'm not doing the big boy stuff just yet. That's all intermediate stuff over there. Now we're going this way. 2 logs for number 7. Very nice enough. 7. Where's 8? 8 is great. Let's have a look up here. So what have we got? So, okay, this is the first place I've actually got to remember where I'm going because Maggie's going a bit wider than Donut. Donut's got that little house over there. Maggie's got this, so we'll walk the Maggie bit first, shall we? This looks much nicer than last time. Last 2 years actually. Good morning. Up over there. Turn around the tree and I've got these little white rails. Very nice. With the flower box on it. And then Donuts is that box to the white rails. I'm not going to stride Maggie's because who knows what will happen on the turn. But I'll stride these. So we've got a little bit of a curve going on. Square up to this. A bit of a left curve. So that walks on a half stride for me, so I either need to go wider or narrower. One of the two. And we're venturing off to see the water. See what we can see. I think Donut's got that boat over that way on the left. And then Maggie's got this log here. Pop over. Quite nice. And then a fairly steep slope into the water, it levels out. Look at that archway over there. And the fence judges, I wonder if they've hopped across on the stones or if they've waded. And this is Donut. The doctors are just having a chat over there. But he's got like plenty of space to land. Where he takes off, I think at his head height he'll be able to see he's got space to land, but it's just making sure he's concentrating on the jump rather than the eye full of water on the other side. And then I assume we're going up over that slope and then there's a fence over there. I'm in trainers, so I am not wading through the water. I'll go and have a nosy from the other side. Okay, so I come into the water there and that is 10A for the 100. Then I need to go up the slope, round, and then to that log there. Obviously jumping it towards me. That'll be 10B. For me, I'm not doing that, the wading through bit, because I'm not in wellies. So that back in for Maggie through the slope, and then she's not out there, she's out over that fence, which I'll show you in a minute. Donut is 9A, 9B, and then I think just a run through the water here and over that. So that's quite inviting. Okay, it pays to ask. I've just been shouting at the fence judges, asking them whether I had to jump that log with Donut. And yes, apparently I do. So that's Maggie's fence out of the water. And that's Donut. Now we go gallivanting on away from the water. And head over this bridge. It's got lots of sand on it. Stones. The ground is very nice. Much better than last year's. It was a bit soft last year. Right, number 12 for Maggie. What's the next one for Donut? That is the question.
Very good morning.
Right, I think 100 cuts the corner up there and goes and loops round up that hill. But I think I've got an extra couple of fences with the Novice, so I'm just doing them on foot, and I've left the bike now that I can't ride on the course because they're just starting here, the tannoy. This is humongous. I feel like this is good prep for Osberton. It doesn't get much bigger than that. That is like full dimensions. It's not actually as bad when you get up to it, but when you are standing back, that looks very large. I hope Donut's got his springs on his feet, because it is very large and very wide. They've been propping up the end. They've made it tall. To give you an idea, I promise I'm not crouching. This is 110, but because it's going slightly downhill, you can land with it a bit bigger. So that is related to these. Okay, let's concentrate rather than just look at how big the jump is. One, two to land, 1, 2, 3, 4. I might swing wide because I'm noticing there's a curve, so I'm probably gonna focus on getting over that first. Once we've landed from that, gather ourselves up, and then just bring ourselves a little bit wider to come around to here, so we can square up to this a little. I mean, you could even angle this a little bit more. That. I think I'll probably jump it squarish, but maybe give us a little bit of angle. This is where with Novice they start taking your time. And then I assume we're riding away up that hill and joining up with where the 100 is. So this is fence 12B. So I need to find fence 13 of the yellow. And I'll go double check what fence I'm looking for of the one. So yeah, a curving line like that I feel like is where you start getting a bit of a choice at novice level as to whether you want to angle it and go a bit faster, because you're not riding a curve, or whether you ride a bit of a curve or a lot of a curve or whatever. But yeah, I hope there's a photographer at this fence. This isn't that beautiful. That's cool. That's like big boy scary stuff, which is what we've been aiming for a long time. So exciting to be doing more of that now. Okay, so we jumped that over there for Novice, but the 100's going to come out here. There's going to be a horse on around here soon. And then, yeah, I've spotted 13. Here's the horse. First horse round of the day.
Back into our view.
There we go. I get to jump in a Olympic jump. Isn't that cool? 14. So that fence was in London 2012 Olympics, which is very cool. That's why it's got the special flags on it. Maggie jumps that house over there, and then we swing round and I'll go and walk this stuff. I've got a jump in the water for Donut. Ooh, that's a poo your pants chicaner, isn't it? Not jumping anything like that yet. So this horse will show you what Maggie's gonna do. I'm gonna stand very still so I'm out of the way. Go up this slope, and then we've got this log down the hill. It's a nice horse, isn't it? Into the water, and then the skinny log out.
5 and 37 seconds. Pick up 6 time penalties, no jumping. Stay complete.
Whereas Donut's jumping that, and then he's looping around here. Turn, come and jump this boat, but again, I'm not going to get my feet wet. Looks quite inviting. And then out over. Then we get the view of this house, which we'll go down in front of for the next fence. And then Maggie's got the littler corner over there, and Donut's got the bigger corner, which I'm actually going to go have a look at just so that I can visualise jumping it. I need to be quite accurate, so I'd say I need to be lining up like that for it. It's quite large. It should be fine. And then Maggie's is over there. Quite an offset angle on these shotgun cartridges, so you've got to get the line right. I'll go walk it rather than biking it. So these look great as long as you've lined them up right. I'm imagining them about 2 strides. If you were to jump them straight, that's how offset they are. So you have to angle them and then they line up nicely. And it's strided really nice. So then donut, I've got these 2 which I come around the tree for. I don't quite know what sort of angling they've got. They're just on a bit of a sharper offset. You can kind of tell that they're offset instead. A bit bigger, a bit sharper, but ultimately the same question. 1, 2, 1. Travelling 2 strides. Those 2 on our way back home. Not the green one. Look at the yellow one. And then finishing off with a log pile going back to the hill. Okay, happy with that. There's a couple of fences where I'm a bit like, scary, but yeah, should be fine, I hope. Yeah, we will be fine. Donut's a legend. That's why he's such a good boy, and I'm so lucky to have him. Should be a good course for Maggie. I can't see any problems. To be honest, then there's no questions they shouldn't be able to answer on there, so that's good. I'm going to have a quick look at the Showjumping. Always looks quite full up here. I'm assuming this is the 100. It looks rather hard on the coast. Right then, Maggie's studs are in. She's out there. She's very excited, which is nice. So I need to get my stuff on now and get myself looking a bit more presentable. Where's my bag? Change my clothes, and then we'll tuck her up, and she'll need her chaff beforehand because I always give her chaff before I ride her. I do it for Donut now as well. I just think it's probably good practice that you know, why would you only do it with horses that have been diagnosed with horses? Why not just do it for all of them?
I just miss you. Miss you. Miss you.
Hello, welcome to the dressage voiceover of this test. I warmed Maggie up and they said they were running early, and she actually came out feeling very warmed up. And then, as it was, somebody 2 before me decided to wait for their time, so she was sort of ready to go. And then I realised that actually I was going to end up with an extra, 10-15 minutes. So I ended up sat watching some tests for a little while and just letting Maggie eat some grass, and then picking her up later on. Whatever happened in between warming her up and re-picking her up, she then suddenly went very, very lit up and was quite excitable. So I ended up taking my spurs off and just doing all I could to settle her down, but I'd not left enough time to settle her down because I thought that she was okay because she'd started off a warm-up just fine. So yeah, with with that in mind, I'm doing this test in sitting trot for 2 reasons. I was just at the stage where I was a bit like, she's a little bit too lit up. I feel like we're going to fluff this test up anyway. And actually the sitting trot can help you contain them a little bit sometimes. So I was thinking, well, that might just help me. And on the other side of it is I will be wearing a tailcoat at Osberton. And in the 1 star, I do have a choice between sitting trot or rising trot. But in the 2 star, I don't. I have to do sitting trot. And I do feel if I'm wearing a tailcoat, I should do it properly and do it in sitting. So I figured I might as well try and contain Maggie a little bit more because she's excited, which I'm not complaining about one bit. But also get some practice with the sitting trot. Anyway, test is actually going quite sweetly. I felt like Maggie felt like she was ready to go galloping at any stage, but we were getting a very sweet test. We started all on 7s. I'm just trying to locate where I'm up to. So it's quite interesting. You have turn right, turn left, turn, and then half 20-meter circles both ways so you can show the difference. So I'm just doing that move again, and we're on 7s for all of that trot work there. Then we pop up to canter, and we got a 7 for that. Circle right, 20 meters working diameter, 7. So some of the comments were more uphill, needing more balance, needs to be a little bit rounder, slight disturbance down the contact. And I think that's fair. I think that's been visible during the test. But when she does settle down, like now, it's a very nice picture. So got a 7 for this, and then changed the rein with a transition to trot. We got a 6.5 with little rounder in trot. So I think it was just sort of, she was running on a little bit as she trotted. On an observation for me, my right leg I'm quite happy with position wise. My left leg, which is my leg that I've had a very badly broken ankle on, seems to just swing forwards a little bit when I'm doing the sitting trot. So that's definitely something to be working on and improving. Then it's changed the rein, free walk on a long rein. We got a 7 with even more relaxation for the walk. She did feel like she was ready to have a jog, so I was quite glad that I managed to contain her. And then we do a transition to trot between A and K, which she says, oh, I am more than happy to do a transition to trot. We got a 7 for that. And then this funny wiggle down the centre line and a halt at G, and we got a 7.5 for that, and 7s all the way through on our collectives, which I was pleased with because I felt like this test was going to be a challenge because she suddenly felt so lit up. So to be able to keep her on side so well, that was brilliant. This test was scored 30.8, and I had a load of professionals in my section. I think I want to say we were 3rd after dressage, so very pleased with her. And when I say we were 3rd after dressage, I think we were 3rd behind Ros Cantor and Oliver Townend, if I'm remembering correctly.
Evangeline Llewellyn-Smith with Darling Deluxe. 30.8 dressage.
You give me this energy. It is like you set me free. Chasing highs to stay alive. But if I'm with you, I'll survive. So hold me close into the night, 'cause I need you to stay. You take me to paradise, that's why it's
To their dressage, also 1.5. Jumps the 10th, on and off the island.
Donuts dressage time, let's go. So the changeover was hectic as anything, and poor Donny didn't get very long to warm up, but that is life, such is life. Anyway, we're getting on. Notice this famous face that I am helping to follow into the arena, just casually following Oliver Townend, and then I think Ros Cantor then followed me in, so it was very star-studded section. I think that's one of the amazing things about eventing, that I know they're on different horses, so they're on horses they're producing through, but you are literally competing against Olympians, which is just mind-blowing and very aspirational when you see them competing, so I do find it very cool. So anyway, I'm there as I trot around the edge of the arena, trying to continue a bit of my warm-up, doing a little bit of leg yielding, because I was not ready. We got over there as quick as we could, but I needed more time to warm up. And it's days like these when, you can see why the pros have a number of grooms back at the lorry getting the horses ready, because there just wasn't enough time for that changeover period between Maggie finishing cross-country and needing her studs out and to be washed off, etc., and getting Donut ready for his dressage and warmed up. I really needed to be able to get off Maggie, put my show jacket back on and get on Donut to work him in. But, it is what it is and we work with it. There's other days where we have more time to warm up and that's great. So I was just sort of going as we could. And you can just see there's just a few little issues in the contact and bending and the likes that I wouldn't have if he'd had more opportunity to work in. But to be completely fair to him, he's being a really good boy. He felt a bit like an unexploded bomb when I first got on him this day. He felt really lit up and ready to go. The other thing is I hadn't learnt my dressage test until I was practically warming up, so I was quite pleased just to get everything in the right order because it came all fairly thick and fast. And actually he was doing a fairly good job. He started off with a 7 for his centre line, his serpentine, and these movements you've just seen, they all got 6s and 6.5s. He's transitioned to canter and this circle got 7 with nice rhythm and I think it's the give and retake stayed in an outline. It's hard to read the handwriting, but it did. He's getting really good with his canter give and retakes. And then we come round this long side, we do a medium canter on the long side. There we go. A little bit bigger, but not massively. I was being quite conservative. It says 6.5, could stay rounder and softer through the back, which is fair enough. Then you had to do a 2.5 metre loop off the track. We got a 7 for that. His canter's definitely improving. Then a transition to trot and a 3-loop serpentine, and we got a 6.5 for this move with could be soft as bridle and over back, and I just felt, you know, sort of the suppleness wasn't quite there. We weren't quite through enough, and a lot of those issues can actually be rectified with a longer warm-up. So I'm so pleased with where we're actually at, because I think I did this test back at the end of May at Little Downham with Donut, and I was literally just surviving, and I was pleased with my 37. Onto the medium trot here, we've got some lengthening strides, got a 7 with that, a touch soft to the bridle, fair enough. Yeah, and literally when I was riding this test at Little Downham, it was a case of, you know, just try and survive. Whereas these days I do feel like we can do all of the moves, and I'm having little mistakes and errors, and that's actually because we're not worked in enough. But that's something that's so easily sortable. The schooling is so much more there now. So that leg yield was a 6 with positioning could be better. He went a bit through his shoulder. We got a 6 for this movement here with the transition to canter in the circle. Outline could be rounder. He's just gone a little bit hollow and rigid at the base of his neck, and that's fine. We can work on that. Medium canter down the long side. Nice difference, and we got a 6 but hollow through the back, which is fair enough. And then the 2.5 metre loop, we got willing but needs better balance, and you can see him just falling out a little bit there. All feels a little bit speedy in the left canter. It's his less balanced side, but it all improves step by step, and this is a vast improvement compared to the last time we did this test at Little Downham, where I literally felt like I was bouncing off the walls. We got a 7.5 for this with his transition to trot, transition to walk and medium walk with nice steps. And then in the free walk, we got an 8 with lovely active and stretched. I mean, when the horses are settled, I think I said this on my last vlog, both of them have excellent walks. So I really try to cash in on as many marks as I can and really sort of show off their walks. And it's nice that they can be so settled during their test, because it means that they are relaxed in their riding, which is great. So then we got 7s for the trots round and a 6 for the halt, and our collective was a 7, only the one collective mark. So we finished on 33.5, and for a lack of warm-up, I was absolutely delighted. And he actually started feeling like he was getting better as he went on. Just checking in, we've done all of Maggie's, and then we've done Donut's dressage. Maggie was a very good girl. She did a 30 dressage, added a pole and a clear inside the time cross country to come 6th. The pole was just, I think she spooked. It was very busy around the edge and she had a real spook, but she was a good girl because she didn't stop. She jumped anyway, but she'd sort of lost all her power spooking. So we just had the back rail of the oxer down and was super duper cross country. I'm feeling happy as anything. Donut's been a good boy. We really didn't have very long to change over, so he was barely worked in. He felt a bit like lit up. So I spent the whole time trying to just get a calm test out of him, and he's actually been very good because he did a 33, which is left him in 3rd at the moment, but we do have the likes of Roscanter and stuff score to come yet, so who knows what we get. But I think 33 is a personal best for us at novice level. Do you think it is? And there was some really nice movements. I think it could have been like a really, really smart test if we'd just had a bit longer to warm up, but that's the nature of it at the moment.
Another 10 minutes.
Yeah, I felt like halfway through the test he started working in. I've got mum.
Yeah, another 10 minutes he'll look a lot better.
So yeah, very, very proud of him. just been off to prize giving. We've actually got a bit of a bigger gap now, about 45 minutes now till show jumping, and we've been and done prize giving. I did start walking the course for the intermediate novice show jumping. I think it was my show jumping. So I think the show jumps will go down at least a hole, if not two, which is quite nice, because I was looking at them thinking they look quite big, but oh well, we'll have to jump them. But they'll get a bit smaller, which is nice for us. So we'll see how we go, and I'll speak to you later.
Turn this exit Angelina Llewellyn Smith with 0 west. 33.5 dressage.
Okay, just jumping in to have a quick chat about this round. So what you didn't see in the warm-up with Donut was, one, everybody seemed to have been crashing through the whole course, so the warm-up seemed to be quite stressful because there was a lot of people getting eliminated. And two, Donut had, I think, 3 weeks in between Sapie and now. I hadn't taken him out jumping because I thought, you know, the break would probably do him good. But what turned out was he was wired. He was absolutely wired in the show jumping and quite hard work. So I ended up sort of strangling him a bit in the warm-up, and then had to sort of recalibrate myself to let him go forwards, because obviously you can't be jumping these big fences without going forwards. And then I came in the ring and he actually started settling by about this point. But those first 4 jumps just felt a little bit like I hadn't found the balance between letting him go forwards to jump and being settled in a rhythm. So we basically just ran through those related distances. It's really clear to see as we're watching. Made up too much distance. He was very forward and leery, so he just booted out the rails with his front feet. But the end of the round I thought was really nice, and the big oxers he is just so cool with. He's got so much scope and so much will to do it.
Tell me what you wanna do. Yeah, 'cause I'd do anything. I just wanna be with you. How can you make me feel this way? Don't let me down, down, down. It could be you and I want you now, 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 now. Don't let me hold you now. I wanna lay in your arms. Come let me love you now. Yeah, you're the one that I want. I wanna stay here. I wanna stay here with you. I wanna stay here with you. La, 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 I wanna stay here with you. La, 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 I wanna stay here with you. I just wanna hear you say that you want me to. I told you I can't get you off my mind.
We are home, finally. So we practically left here in the dark and now we're returning home in the dark. It is 22:09, yeah, 8:39, and we have had a very good day, an educational day for Donnie and I. We were jumping a storm of around. I was really proud of it. We just had a little blip on the way home where that brush corner was. I think I brought him in too big a canter, and see me like that? Yeah, I brought him in too big a canter, and he misread it. We've never jumped anything like that with a corner with a brush on the back, and it really looked like an optical illusion. And sorry, I'm just skipping out Maggie's stable at the same time, ready to get them off the lorry. And yeah, he just misread it, and we skimmed to the side and had a glance off. So I just let him have a look at it, brought him round again, and he jumped it brilliantly. I've actually bought the picture of him jumping it. He jumped it so brilliantly, and I was so proud of him. And then the offset shotgun cartridges after, we just took out the left flag because they were obviously on quite a steep angle, and he had a moment's wiggle at the second one. We took out the left flag at part B, so I stopped and asked the fence judge if they thought that I was in or if they thought I was out, and they said they thought I was out, so I just said that's fine, will you put the flag back up for me, I'll jump it again, because I didn't want to eliminate myself. So we just popped it again and popped him home. But we have learnt an awful lot. How are you doing, Mama H?
I'm too old for this.
I've lamed her. It's a really long day taking two out, and it's hard work, but I'm so proud of them. Maggie came 6th in the end. Would have done better without the pole, but I was really proud of her for keeping going rather than having a stop. Not so long. Hey, not so long ago she would have just said no, I'm not jumping that, whereas now she's really working with me. Hello kitties. They've obviously travelled like a dream because they are such little superstars. So yeah, Donnie's on paper doesn't look amazing, but actually I'm still super chuffed. It's definitely the beefiest track I've ever jumped. I spoke to one of my friends as we were leaving. She jumped around the same, and she's ridden to, I think she's ridden to 3-star, and she was riding one of her, sorry, there we go, sorry about that. She was bringing one of her young horses around, and she said the back end of the course, stop it, guys, they all want to get off. The back end of the course rode like an intermediate, and I did think it walked incredibly strong, so that's pretty impressive that we were able to do that. Anyway, I'm going to get them off and sorted. Just a moment of appreciation for how huge the show jumping course was that we jumped with Donut. Absolutely ginormous. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I was so proud of the horses this day. I am every day anyway. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, a comment, and please subscribe to my channel because it really does help me out, and I love seeing all of your comments. And I will see you very soon. Next stop, Osberton.